Hey everyone, welcome to today's Cornerstone Connection Daily Devotional. My name is Nate Carter and we're in the midst of the book of Hebrews. The book of Hebrews was written in the first century to address really some of the distinctions between this new faith, this Christianity, and the Jewish religion, and to really highlight how Christianity and the new covenant is better in every respect than the old covenant. And it's so the bulk of the book of Hebrews is drawing the distinction between the two and showing how Jesus is better in every way. And we continue in chapter 8 talking about how Jesus is our high priest. It talks about how here on earth priests serve in the tabernacle or in the temple, but in verse 5 they serve in a system of worship that is only a copy. It's a shadow of the real one in heaven, where Jesus is our great high priest and our final high priest. Now, again, we're talking about how the new system is better than the old system. The new covenant is better than the old one. And it's very interesting, I think, in verse 7 how the author describes this. He says, if the first covenant had been faultless, there would have been no need for a second covenant to replace it. But when God found fault with the people, he said, the day is coming, says the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the people of Israel and Judah. Now, where's the fault? Did God make a mistake when he designed the first covenant, when he made the first covenant with the people of Israel? Well, no, of course, God doesn't make mistakes. Listen to how we find that out. It says, the covenant will not be like the one I made with the ancestors when I took them by the hand and led them out of the land of Egypt. They did not remain faithful to my covenant, so I turned my back on them, says the Lord. So see, the fault was not in what God did. The fault was on the other side of the equation. It was in the people of God that just could not follow, or often just would not follow, the regulations set forth in the law, to their detriment. And so there's the fault. And because God found fault in our side, essentially our side of the covenant, he did something about it. Verse 10, but this new covenant I will make with the people of Israel on that day, says the Lord. I will put my laws in their minds, and I will write them on their hearts. I will be their God, and they will be my people. Do you just hear the love of God pouring out through those verses? He's saying, I'm not going to write it down on parchment or on tablets. I'm going to write it on their hearts. I'm just going to engrave it into who they are. I'm going to speak to them. My spirit is going to speak to them. And then they're going to be my people. And I'm going to be their God. And you know, this covenant is now going to extend far beyond the people of Israel, but to the very ends of the earth, to you and me, to Gentiles, to anyone who would call Jesus Lord. I think I shared this before, but I'll share it again. It's beautiful. I met this man back in Dallas when I lived there. He was an old man, took me out to lunch. And he said, Nate, do you know the difference between Christianity and every other religion in the world? And I said, what? He said, well, every other religion spells their faith D-O. This is what you have to do in order to be right with God. And that would be the same with the first covenant. These are the regulations that God set forth in order that you must do in order to be made right with him. But Christianity is unique among every other faith system in the world because they spell their religion D-O-N-E. Done. It's done. Jesus did the work. He's the one that satisfied the requirements of the law. And so it's done. There's nothing that we have to do but to put our faith and trust in the one who satisfied the law, who completed the law, who fulfilled the law for our sake, so that we can live our entire lives and our entire eternities with him. Today, there's no takeaway other than just to bask in the truth of that we are in this new covenant that is D-O-N-E. It has been done for us, so we can enjoy the grace of God expressed through the sacrifice of Jesus Christ on our behalf, so that we can live with him forever. Take a moment in this month of Thanksgiving to give thanks to God for the gift of his Son and for the new covenant that we enjoy. We'll see you next time on the Cornerstone Connection.